Hello, my name is Ashley Murphy. I'm an artist and an author, among being a wife and a mother, using my gifts in my everyday life to communicate with the world how valuable you are. Join me today as I share how to bleach drop cloths. These drop cloths I'll be bleaching will be used for curtains. Last year we updated our wall colors, so this meant updating the curtains. I love a well-decorated home. However, I'm not willing to spend a lot of money on doing it. So I'm always looking to use what I have or use what I can to make what I need at a reasonable price. Prior to painting our walls, I did have some drop cloths as curtains in one certain area in my home, but I was looking to have them lighter than they originally come. So first, as you can see, I fill up the amount of bins I will need in order to double up on the amount of drop cloths that I will bleach.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'd already opened each drop cloth I purchased at Home Depot. They are Everbuilt brand 6x9 heavy duty canvas drop cloth. Once the bins were filled with water, I added bleach. I used about a half a cup, which was a solo cup.
I'm sorry to say this, ma'am, but I think you have bleach on your shirt.
Then I came back to fill the cup up and gradually dispersed an equal portion among each bin.
And apparently added more water.
I think I called myself mixing.
I laid one cloth in each bin. If you notice, they didn't soak in very well. I used an old piece of a curtain rod to push them in further to fully submerge them in the water. I added more water and bleach, then began adding the second cloth into each bin, using the rod again to help with the submerging. I put gloves on to assist with flipping each cloth and mixing up the bleach water. Afterwards, the cloth soaked in the bleach water for 3 to 4 hours. Once these cloths were wet and submerged in water, they were so heavy. Trying to turn them over was quite a chore. But this was a beautiful day that I did this project. I enjoyed my time outside and just being surrounded by nature in my yard. And as my husband always says, I take way too long to do things, especially when I take the project on to film. But that, my friend, is where I can bring you along and allow you to walk this process out with me in hopes that you will be inspired in your everyday life to tackle the projects that you want to. Once I felt good about their soak time, I drained each bucket in an area I knew wouldn't be harmful to our yard. These babies were heavy to pull too. Whee! And a little more. Oh, and some more. Oh, think it's all out. Get it, girl.
Wash that bleach right out of the rock.
I used the bins to assist me in carrying the heavy wet drop cloths into my laundry room. And here I used a cup of vinegar to help from dry rotting.
Is this me interrupting this? Am I interrupting?
Here we have a special guest. That was my daughter.
We have to pause it to show our mom something.
The wash and dry time took a little while to get this accomplished because I wasn't able to wash but like 4 at a time. Once they were all washed and dried, I laid them on the countertop, folded them nice and neat, ready for the next day, where I ironed them. So this project didn't take just one day. It took me more than one day. It took one day to bleach them and wash them and dry them, and then the next day I began the ironing. I ironed them on the highest setting with steam. And actually, after this project, I had to purchase another iron. They, I think just like the extra fuzz or like particles, material particles came off of them. It kind of built up dust inside the iron and caused it to go out. I purchased curtain rods from Lowe's, Allen Roth, 72-inch, thinking I could piece them together for a long back window. Rods have changed since then, with a middle insert preventing you to rig it. I had to return this rod, and I ended up keeping the clips, though, and I purchased a longer rod online from Bed Bath & Beyond. On each end of the drape, I added a clip first. This was considered my starting point whenever I was putting the clips on. I folded the end over, clamping the clip to the part that was folded, almost as if the folded part is sandwiched in. Then I went straight to the middle. I pinched a section and a half of another section, placing a clip on there. Then I went to the middle of, like I got to the middle section of the end and the middle section. I hope that makes sense. Like what I did is I got a section from starting from the end and then the middle that I had already clamped. And from those start to end, then I got the middle from there and put another clip. And then I did that on the other side of the middle of the end in the middle. I hope that makes sense. Making a total of 5 clips, one on each end, one in the middle, and then 2 more, which would be the ones that are in between the middle and the ends. So that's how I came up with a total of 5 clips. After the bleaching process, I realized that each drop cloth came out just a slight different shade. And I tried to pair them closest to the mate of shade, which meant when I hung them, you couldn't really tell the difference. Oh, the beauty of imperfection. Now is the time that I use the extra curtain rod to position each ring on the curtain rod exactly where I want them for the creases. And then I use my hands to run the creases all the way down, and I gather them right there in the middle, and then I shake the bottom and I let the bottom kind of drape up, and then I actually make this little poof because it does drape all the way to the floor, so it's almost like a cloud. In the end, I wish that I would have used more bleach than I did for this project, but overall they turned out great. So I just wanted to share that you could up the amount of bleach that you use. That's it, my friends, the final touch of this project. I hope you have enjoyed being with me on this project, and it's my greatest desire to remind you you were made to shine. Shine your light of influence out into the world. It's my hope sharing pieces of my everyday life inspires your voice of influence to shine. See you next time. P.S. If you calculated the amount of drapes that I had on that back window and you're wondering where the rest of them are, I use those in my kitchen in the bay window area.